I'm here with one half of this weekend's main event, Mackenzie Dern. She fights Marina Rodriguez in what will be her first UFC main event appearance. Mackenzie, this is a huge opportunity. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is definitely this is Marina's second main event, so for me this is like woo, I'm here. Main event is someplace I think all the athletes, fighters, we hope to eventually, sign the poster with our faces on the posters, so I'm very, very excited. I think this will be a good opportunity for kind of the people who don't know me yet will get to know me, and hopefully they kind of see this new and evolved version of Mackenzie. And of course, I'm grappling. I'm trying to go in this fight and submit and get the fight done with, but be able to show like, hey, I can stay in there with a striker if I need to. My hands will set up everything else, and we can get this win.
That's the perfect mindset. But the first things first, the big questions: which is more challenging, taking care of a toddler or training for a fight?
Yeah, definitely taking care of a toddler during a fight, during a training for the fight. So it's good. I'm so lucky that I have like such a good support team. My husband, he helps so much, and I mean he's an athlete too. He's a professional surfer, so our both of our works are like our jobs are kind of like flexible. We go to the beach for him, and for me, I can take Moa to the gym. So it's a little bit like take your child to work day all the time for us. But yeah, it's good. She's 2 years and 3 months. So I think like this taller, the twos, where they say no to everything is definitely hard. Right now I'm doing interviews and I'm hearing she's like in timeout in the living room right now. So it's like we're ready for a fight, but man, you can't leave from that mom mindset.
How do you differentiate between switching between being a full-time athlete and being a full-time parent? Is there a switch that you have to flip when you get to training? I know you said you take her to the gym with you every day, but is there a moment that you be like, look, I have to turn being a mum off for a second and I got to focus on the fight? Is there a metaphorical switch that you flip?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think in the fight, like in the sparring, the fight, things like that, it's like she'll help me in between rounds or something like that. But I've always been very good at like turning it on and turning it off. It's of course when I'm kind of just going easy in the training, I can hear her like talking things like that. But when we're doing sparring and full focus rounds and stuff like that, I'm totally focused. And I think that's just my personality. People have always been like, man, you're like in jiu-jitsu. I'm talking to people before the fight, and I can like talk to you and like want to punch you in the face at the same time, and it's nothing personal, everything just business. If you beat me, hey, we're friends, no problem. And if I beat you, I hope that we continue friends, and so I'm very good at just turning that on, turning that off. I think that's something that jiu-jitsu has taught me. We can fight the same person in 1 month like 5 different times at different tournaments, in the weight and the absolute, and you fight them again. So for me, like it's very easy to kind of turn that on, turn it off, and especially during the fights and stuff like that. It's more, I always like getting close to the fight. I always ask my husband, like, hey, when I'm at home, that's kind of like when I really just need that time to turn off and focus on the fight. I can kind of feel myself like kind of running around and getting a little bit anxious because I'm with Moa. And she's going crazy. She wants to play and do all these things, but I don't have the patience. You're like injured or you're like trying to recover for the next training in an hour. And so that's when I'm really asking like, hey, I need that time, because that's the hardest time, the recovery time, to kind of focus on the fight and know that you have to be a little bit selfish, and ask for help and things like that. But I don't have a problem asking for help. I always ask for help with my husband. I make him cookies and stuff after when I'm on the diet, so everyone's happy.
Well, you seem to have the perfect work life balance out, but you're coming off of a very impressive first round stoppage over Nina Nunez, and she was your first top 10 ranked opponent. Do you take confidence going into this fight knowing you put on the performance that you did against Nina, who has been a staple of this strawweight division for an incredibly long time?
Yes, 100%. I mean, the fight against Nina was very important because that was kind of the jump I wanted to make. I think I went from number 11 to number 5. So it was definitely that breakthrough that I was looking for. Um, I mean, and honestly, it was such a blessing, to be able to fight Nina, who was I was her first fight back after her pregnancy. So it was like very very meaningful, to be able to fight her, and kind of me being a recent mom. I know how much I know she's fighting again pretty soon, so I know how much she's going to evolve even more after becoming a mom. So yeah, I was really really excited, and yeah, I think I went into that fight the best shape of my life. Just knowing, hey, I need to really show, okay, I'm top five shape, top five material, top five athlete. So I really took my professional skills like to the next level for that fight during the camp. Like the strength training, diet, technique wise, I was just focused 100% to be top five. And now with Marina, just kind of the same thing. I'm looking at this fight as if it's a title fight for me.
That's the perfect mindset. One thing I have noticed, particularly over your last couple of fights, is whilst clearly you have the advantage on the ground, you've been looking to stand up and work your striking a lot more when you're in your fights. Is that something that you and your team have been working on or you're focusing on? And how much has your coach, Jason Perillo, helped you in that aspect?
Yeah, Jason, he's such a great coach. He's a beast, man. He's so good at teaching, and I mean, you see like BJ Penn, Chris Cyborg, Bismi. He's just worked with so many people, and he's definitely what I like the most is that he doesn't try to make me a striker, but all the confidence and how he's teaching me, I'm just so much more comfortable to be striking. It's everyone says like, oh, just take them to the ground, but man, I I don't know how the camps go, the girls who fight me, but I imagine that like they spend the whole 2 months like training takedown defense and how to get back up on their feet. So it's hard to take them down. Especially when the people are so focused on not going to the ground and they have the cage and they're throwing punches at you. So Jason's really got me to get my hands instead of just throwing one punch. I'm throwing like combinations now and getting them truly to kind of think about my punches, and make my takedowns easier. So he's just making it easier for me to be the fighter that I am. That's like the jiu-jitsu specialist, but I have the heart. I'm not scared to get punched in the face. I've got like my nose broken. I've been through some wars, and I think that's a little bit scary too for some of the girls. Like I think any of the fighters, when you know that the person's down to like get bloody and get in there, and they have this ground game that's just like a whole different world for a lot of people. It's a little bit scary. So he's definitely helped me so much to like and be able to see the striking a little bit more similar to my ground game, that like you can set things up and you see openings. I'm like, oh, okay, now I understand that striking, we do the same in jiu-jitsu, the ground. So yeah, it's great to be able to be like that athlete that I am in jiu-jitsu now as in MMA, just in as all around.
You definitely can see the evolution of your game. Now, when you look at Marina and you look at footage on her, it is clear that she's got a lot of power. She's dangerous on the feet and she's very technical with her range control. But when you look at her fight, particularly against somebody like Carla Esparza, it was the takedowns that won that fight for Carla. Obviously, without giving us the game plan, is that also something that you're looking to exploit in this fight?
Yeah, 100%. People ask me like, "Oh, you want to show your hands with Marina?" It's like, man, I don't plan. I'm ready to go the 5 rounds. I'll standing up if we need to. But man, even the fights that Marina's won, every single fight she's been taken down, in some time during the fight, Carla Esparza, with Cynthia Calvillo, she was taken down with Randa Marcos, she was taken down with even Amanda Ribas, that she got the knockout in the second round. She was taken down in the first round. So I think, I think everyone does their homework, everyone sees, like the way to beat her is the ground game, it's just, I don't think she's fought anyone with the ground game like me, that I'm not too much like ground and pound and kind of stay in the guard. I'm more like going to the next position and passing the guard and going to submissions and leg locks and these things. So it's way more dangerous, I think, to stay on the ground, because I saw even with Carla Esparza, she's doing like elbows from the bottom, Marina, so you could tell that even on the ground she's dangerous, so yeah, definitely you can see even the fights that she's won, even with Michelle Waterson, that Marina won basically every single round. Michelle Waterson, who's a karate girl, took her down. So I think that's really the opening, that we're gonna go and take her to the ground and play my game.
Well, it'll be definitely interesting to see. On paper, though, this is a clear grappler versus striker match, and it's an incredibly important one for both of you. You being ranked number 5, her a couple spots behind you. This is a must win for both of you, particularly when you're talking about title contention or possible title contention. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, it's a little bit like I said to you. I'm not looking past Marina, but I'm looking at her as this is a title fight. This is a title fight for me, because I really think that a win in this fight will push me to the title, So I think I can go to the title after this fight. So I know that this fight is so important for that, and that's why I'm thinking like, okay, I'm taking this fight as if it's for the belt, because I really think will keep me on that track. It will be my fifth straight win, So yeah, it's so important, and I know her too. It will be good to just keep climbing the rankings. So we'll see how the fight goes. But I think if it's like an almost perfect performance by me, then maybe I'll call out the belt after. We'll see. That in 1 month, Rose and Zhang Weili will be fighting for the belt. So hopefully I can watch that like first row as the next contender.
Well, a lot of people are going to be seeing Mackenzie Dern this weekend. Mackenzie, good luck against your opponent this weekend. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Megan. Woohoo.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.